Hello, everybody. I wanted to come on here and explain Unit 5 because it's a very important unit. We are starting the research paper. Remember that your research paper is 25% of your overall average. And so this can really boost your grade, but in turn, it can also maybe damage your grade if you don't do a good job on it. And so realize that Unit 5 is just the beginning steps of writing a research paper. Your paper is not due in 2 weeks. It is not due until April 10th, which is in Unit 6. But I wanted to make sure that you look through everything that I've posted in Unit 5 because they are very important steps. And probably the most important thing or the biggest thing that I've noticed so far in this course is just y'all, some of you have not been reading all of the instructions. And so you've turned in something and it's kind of obvious that you didn't even really read the instructions to it. So please take time during this unit. And that's why I'm opening up this unit even during spring break for those of you who want to get ahead. You're writing a paper in MLA format. Now, if you're in a government class or maybe a business or another education class, you may be writing papers in APA format, which is fine. But for English papers, you only write in MLA. We don't have a handbook or any textbooks in this course, but the OWL Purdue, which is a website, and the link is shared with you in this unit, is very important because it's kind of your go-to when you have a question about, well, how do I document this or how do I cite this? Go to OWL Purdue because all of the answers are there. The first thing you need to know is that you're going to be writing a research paper over a poem and an author of a poem. So if you look in Unit 5, the third thing listed is a list of all the authors and the poems that you can choose from. You have to choose from this list. And the reason why I'm being very specific on choosing from this list is because I've already done preliminary research. You might like some author in a poem. However, if there's not a lot of critical documents written on that particular poem, then you're going to have a hard time writing a research paper. So choosing Sylvia Plath, William Blake, Alfred Lord Tennyson, Robert Frost, Langston Hughes, William Wordsworth, Emily Dickinson, Gwendolyn Brooks, and Maya Angelou. I have chosen those famous authors. Some are American, some are British, and those are the ones that you need to choose from. So when you have looked through these, and you can just do a really quick search online, maybe you heard about Gwendolyn Brooks and do a search on We Real Cool, which is a good poem about some kids who were skipping school one day and Gwendolyn Brooks saw them. And it's a short poem, but realize that you're going to be investing some time in this particular poem and poet. So make sure that you do a little background information, looking and seeing the poem that you might like. Once you have decided by Thursday of Unit 5, which is going to be, let me go back to my checklist, which is March 24th, you need to email me from your KC email. Don't do it on Blackboard because I don't always check those messages. I get a notification on my phone if you send me an email from your KC account. I also get a message or a notification if you send it through Remind. So either send me a Remind message or an email to my ltruman@kilgore.edu email and tell me which author and which poem you have chosen. Then you're going to be writing a research paper over that particular poem. You're also going to do a short PowerPoint or Prezi or slides, whatever presentation you want to do over that particular poem and poet as well. And I've got the guidelines for that. Now, your research paper is 25% of your overall grade. The presentation is just a major grade, but it's a really easy way to get 100 and boost your average for the overall course. The most important thing you need to print this particular unit is the second thing listed, and that's the Poetry Research Paper Guidelines. The first document, download that document and open it up. It tells you paragraph by paragraph, step by step, how many words this paper is, how many paragraphs this paper is, what kind of sources to avoid, and it goes in depth. So there's no question as to what you need to be including in your research paper. There are 7 paragraphs. Please make sure that you follow the paragraph structure. In the last essay, it was obvious that some of this class did not read through the instructions. Your thesis statement should look very similar to the formula that I've given you, and I've even given you some samples here. Paragraph 2 is a background information on your poet. Paragraph 3 is the physical structure of the poem. Paragraphs 4, 5, and 6 are the elements that you listed in your thesis statement. So if you're talking about Wordsworth, and maybe you said that Wordsworth expressed the importance of literature through figurative language, imagery, and tone, then I know that that's paragraphs 4, 5, and 6 of your research paper. And then the last paragraph is a personal evaluation of the poem. Again, paragraphs 1 through 6 should be in third person, present tense. Paragraph 7, you can write in first person because it is a evaluation of the poem. If you want to see the rubric on how I'll be using it to grade, you can download that. You can also open up the presentation guidelines. Again, that's one major grade. But the most important thing is to document and look at all of these research paper instructions that I've given you. Your paper is in MLA. I'm going to show you videos on how to find sources and how to document those sources. I'm going to introduce the OWL Purdue website to you. MLA is how all English classes write papers. You may have written an APA for a government or Chicago for a business class. MLA is what you need to write this paper in. So your parenthetical documentation should be done in MLA format. Your works cited page should be done in MLA format as well. This particular unit talks about just the overview of the paper, overview of the presentation, talks about what modern language is, how to document sources. There are some videos to watch. Please watch everything that I've posted. Since this is such an important and large percentage of your overall grade, make sure that you're completing everything. Again, I'm opening up basically a week early. Those of you who have time during spring break to get a head start, I think that will help you. I'll be posting another video probably at the first of next week as well on some other other things that come to me that I think maybe in the past students have had questions about. But feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about this particular assignment.